Hello and welcome to Sports This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
I am Taya Salam. It's great to have you join us again. All right, this is what the show looks like. We're starting off with the UEFA Champions League. Big win for PSG. For the first time, they're through to the final of the UEFA Champions League after they defeated RB Leipzig by 3-0 in the first semi-final last night.
And standing in their way for the first Champions League trophy is Bayern or Lyon. Just one more game, and of course, they will have won their first title in the history of the club, the Bayern Hurdle. And for Bayern, all they have to do is to beat Lyon if they can get into the final and face PSG. But then there's a warning coming from our Lyon coach, Rudy Garcia. He says that Manchester City scored 100 goals, so statistics will count for nothing when they face each other tonight.
You have to say, I mean, for us to see an all-French final, Lyon will have to do the almost impossible by defeating Bayern Munich later tonight. Football, impossible is nothing. Also on the show this time in basketball, in the NBA playoffs, 2 8 seeds won their first games last night. Talking about the Orlando Magic upsetting #1 seed in the East, the Milwaukee Bucks, and the Blazers. Not exactly an upset, as I said it on the show yesterday. They beat the LA Lakers, the #1 seed in the Western Conference. And Cecilia, there you have it.
Yeah, of course, the top seeds falling in playoffs opener. That's how it all started in the playoffs, in the bubble, I mean, near Orlando. Okay, we're starting off with the NBA this season. No, I didn't see that. I knew that, of course, Portland, of course, they were, you know, that's the team of the moment, so to speak. But then the Bucks and the Magic, I mean, we didn't even review the game because we're thinking, okay, what's the point of preview? No, the thing is, we're already thinking,
it was going to be a sweep.
So that's not the game you will want to focus on.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, starting with the Lakers. Results from the night. Before we talk about the Lakers, because it's the Magic game.
Yeah. All right, then let's just give you a rundown of the games that played last night, game 1 of the NBA playoffs, starting with the Blazers. The last match of the night between Portland and LA ended 100-93 in favor of Damian Lillard and the gang. Elsewhere, we'll come back to that game in a bit now. OKC, Thunder, and the Houston Rockets.
No Russell, no problem.
No Russell, no problem. 123-108 in favor of Houston. James Harden scoring 37 points to lift the Rockets to that game 1 victory. And like Cecilia said, no Russell, no problem for the Rockets because the likes of Jeff Green and Eric Gordon stepped up with 21 points and 22 points respectively. And for OKC,
OKC, it was Chris Paul. I mean, he was traded, you know.
Yeah, playing against Homicide, so
he added just 20 points after missing all 5 of his first quarter shots. So he also contributed 10 rebounds and 9 assists. But Danilo also added 29 points for the OKC. But that just wasn't enough because you have James Harden was on fire, 12 of 22 from the field, and he also added 11 rebounds.
Yeah, this is pretty much a standard performance from James Harden.
Of course.
We've gotten used to seeing this. The beard always turn up whenever he steps on the basketball court. Let's move on to the Pacers and the Miami Heat.
Could have gone anyway.
Going for a game out, 28 points for Miami in their 113-101 victory over the Indiana Pacers. Goran Dragic also added 24 points, including 4 key baskets down the stretch. Bam Adebayo, of course, played very well for Miami.
Double. 17 points and 10 rebounds for him.
6 assists as well for Bam Adebayo, one of the most improved players in the NBA this season. While for the Pacers, TJ Warren and Malcolm Brogdon scored 22 points apiece. But for Victor Oladipo, very unfortunate, left the game because of an eye injury after just 8 minutes. Last but not the least is the Magic, and the Bucks ended 122-110 in favor of the Magic. That's the biggest upset of the night. But we're already seeing pictures coming from the Lakers and the Blazers, the star match of the night, where Nikola Vucevic was simply on fire, feasted right from the start of that game till the end, and there was no stopping him. And he contributed a great deal in the perhaps one of the biggest upsets in playoff history. the Orlando Magic knocking out, shocking the Milwaukee Bucks. But let's focus on Blazers and LeBron James. LeBron James's first playoff appearance with the Lakers ended in a defeat. And we talked about it for long periods on the show yesterday, how this wasn't a great matchup at all.
At all. I mean 8 seed, that's not the usual 8 seed you face in your first round.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The Portland Trail Blazers have been simply on fire since the NBA restarted in the bubble, and they have Damian Lillard for crying out loud.
Just continue with that. I mean, there's no dropping it. I was thinking with Damian Lillard may just be worn out and tired because, you know, he mentioned that Lakers have rested and they played until Saturday. That may just be in their advantage because they're ready. They haven't really rested and they're playing on a Tuesday. But then the Lakers have that momentum here. It counts a lot. Maybe that was what counted for them. But I think that, you know, you're expecting Anthony Davis. He had 28 points, 11 boards and all that. That was also okay. LeBron James 23 and 17 boards, 16 assists. I mean, that was huge. But when you're having some other players not coming to the... Kyle Kuzma, for instance, chipped in just 14 points. So LeBron, I think he needs to score as much as 30 points, like having James Harden is doing for them to be able to win games. If he doesn't do that, I'm afraid that you just see Lakers. Since 2013, they've not been in the playoffs, and you're going out in the first round with LeBron and AD. Come on, that's not something we expect at all. It's too early to start. But if you take a look at the contribution, even Nurkic contributed 16 points and 15 rebounds for the Blazers. So it's as if all the players combined together had something to give. Even Carmelo Anthony on double-double, 11 points, 11 rebounds on the ninth too. So you just have almost 11 and 10 rebounds. So you might have almost all the star players, you know, going on double digits, not just scoring, but also contributing the rebounds and also assists. But in the Lakers, it's not like that. So you're having just LeBron and maybe AD carrying it. And if they don't score as much as 30 points or 40 points on the night, they can't beat Portland at all. Yeah, they can't. So they need to score more points.
And that means other players have to step up as well.
Yeah, other players are not stepping up. But then if they can get as much as 30, 40 on the night,
but if they
don't, it could just be. That's what it means.
Then they still got to find a way to win somehow.
But just take a look at, I mean, we didn't see 51 points from Damian Lillard. We saw 34. Yeah. But he had other players who stepped up.
That's what I'm saying. So other players
Damian Lillard cannot even drop his own standard. So he needs to step up. He needs to keep on from that 30, 35 points on in every game.
Yeah, but even if Damian Lillard doesn't score 30, 35 points in every game, you listed all those guys. Yusuf Nurkic, Carmelo Anthony, CJ McCollum scoring point. You just said Kyle Kuzma dropped 14 points.
Just
How many
14.
points did Danny Green score? It was freaking all day. Lakers fans are not very happy with Danny Green at all this morning. But it is what it is. The Lakers have lost their first game in the NBA playoffs to the Portland Trail Blazers. Hasn't come as a surprise to anyone that has been following the restart of the NBA in the bubble. The Portland Trail Blazers, despite coming in with a losing record, have been very, very fantastic, and that's why they've won game one. Game two is going to be on Thursday. That's against the LA Lakers. LA Lakers will try to even the series in that one. Let's talk about the second upset. Okay, actually, the only upset of the night for me was the Magic.
Love the correction.
Stunning the top-seeded Portland Trail Blazers.
How did that happen?
This is such a big win because the Orlando Magic were 14-point underdogs coming into this game against Giannis Antetokounmpo and his crew. But what did they do? They started very fast.
And they were leading all the time.
And there was no stopping them.
Bucks had to play second fiddle all through the game, and they had to close the gap.
They kept on chasing and chasing and chasing,
12 points.
puffing and puffing. But at the end of the day, it was a very well-deserved win.
Now, 43% from the field and were 14 of 42 from 3-point range. So when that happened, I mean, and for the Magic, of course, they were clinical. They made shot 49.4% and made 16 3-pointers against Milwaukee Bucks defense.
There you go. Milwaukee defense, which is reputed for being very solid and all of that. They didn't have any answers for the Orlando Magic. And like I said, it was Nikola Vucevic leading the way for the Orlando Magic in that very, very important victory. Of course, for the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis did very well.
Yeah.
31 points, 17 rebounds, and 7 assists for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But he did not score in the final 10 minutes, of the game. And that's when you need other players.
Chris Middleton, for instance.
Chris Middleton. How many points
It's just decoration.
Chris Middleton, 14 points. Eric Bledsoe, 15 points. Wesley Matthews, 10. Brook Lopez, 5.
5 points.
Those are the other starters.
So at the end of the day, you're just having only more like, we always say that Milwaukee Bucks happens to be like a two-man team. Yeah, but sometimes it's one team. Now. I mean, Chris Middleton happens to be the usual guy that usually joins him.
Especially in the playoffs, he needs to up his game. He needs to up his game. If the Milwaukee Bucks are going to win their first title since 1971. They've been waiting, and they're all hoping that Giannis can actually lead them to that.
You can't do that alone. We've seen that's not looking good for any team at all. If you have just one man doing all the play, it's difficult.
All right, then.
That's always it.
Anyways.
Okay, Indiana Pacers.
Still too early to...
After game 3, we can talk.
It's definitely a rocky start.
Yeah, for both top seeds, yeah. But I love it.
Let's go to Indiana and Miami. Those two guys they're very familiar with each other. They've placed three times in this bubble. In the last few weeks in the bubble, so they're very familiar. But I'm not surprised that it was the Miami Heat that ended up winning that game. Jimmy Butler going for game high 28 points, like we said. For Indiana Pacers, though, the coach, Nick McMillan, and two of the key players, Malcolm Brogdon, as well as T.J. Warren, who was at a fantastic time in the bubble as well, have been reacting to that loss, and they're all hoping they can bounce back in game 2. All right, T.J. Warren scoring 22 points for Indiana in that victory, in that loss for the Pacers against the Miami Heat as well. On Thursday, they will try to even that series as well. Let's talk about standout performers on the night, starting with Nikola Vucevic, the Orlando Magic center, who was simply on fire, and the Milwaukee Bucks had no answers for him on the night. 35, 14, and 4 for Nikola Vucevic. Take about wherever you are. Let's go on to Giannis Antetokounmpo. 31, 17 rebounds, and 7 assists. Cecilia, your heart is going to be bleeding a lot today because there's some great performances that didn't end up in victories. Giannis being one of them. James Harden is the next guy. The beard, of course. 37 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 assists. Damian Lillard is the next guy. Dame time, 34, 5 and 5 for the Portland Trail Blazers. LeBron James, of course, let's pay a thought for him. Triple-double. His 24th postseason triple-double, and is the first player to record as many points, rebounds, and assists in a playoff game. Shout out to the King, wherever you are, even though they lost that game. Matches will continue tonight. Cecilia, the Nets versus the Raptors. Expect another win for the Raptors.
Raptors, of
Jazz, Nuggets, Celtics.
I can't stick out my neck. Some Sixers and Celtics, another one. I won't stick it out. Mavericks and Clippers. I think Clippers are going to get something out of that. So I know okay, no need. This remains.
Let's go to the golf.
Yeah, that's the FedEx Championship. The playoffs is coming up, and of course, some players are already saying that they cannot leave the US to go to Europe and play any other tournament. So the focus is on all the tournaments that are taking place in the US. That's the tournament they will be playing. I'm talking about John Ram is one of them. I mean, for he's saying that, look, I mean, he's going to be competing in the PGA Tour FedEx Cup playoff opener in Massachusetts, but he says that, well, he's going to be staying in the US.
So he's not sure whether he's going to play again on the European tour. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic.
And he had a good performance in Europe last time. So
I mean, he's the defending champion for the race to Dubai. So it's just sad, but that's the way things are right now. The COVID-19 pandemic is still disrupting, sporting activities all over the world. Let's listen to world number 1 now, John Ram, talking about his chances of playing on the European tour this season.
Got
to keep it going. Indeed, Colin Morikawa, who's the PGA Championship winner from last week, starting to,
dream.
Get comparisons with Tiger Woods as well.
Okay, no, we're not going to go there. It's too early. Let's talk about quickly to US.
And he's done incredible things already.
I'm not going that way. Let's talk tennis now. US Open. I mean, Gabi Muguruza, she's doubtful for the US Open. But we need to go on a break now. We'll come back. We're talking about the Champions League. Welcome back. All right, it's time to talk about the UEFA Champions League. But before we do that, you guys can talk to us on our social media mechanism, on Twitter especially. What do you think about the game last night? And also, who is going to win this Champions League? Before, it was easy to actually predict, but we know it's going to go to either Germany or France. But which of these clubs will take it? Will it be Lyon or maybe Bayern or just maybe PSG winning it for the first time? Talk to us on Twitter at channels_sport. We have Inyobong Monday in the studio this morning. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm fantastic. Good morning, Cecilia. Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning.
Last night was quite exciting. Great bit of football for Paris Saint-Germain on the night. It was such a brilliant night for them, because when you consider how arrogant PSG have been seen in French football, because they spend all the money,
and no results.
That sense of being a local champion, always winning in France and not really punching your weight, pulling your weight in Europe, has been on their back for a very long time. So many managers have come through, haven't quite been able to achieve the Holy Grail. Can't remember the last time they played in the semi-finals.
25 years ago.
I mean, that's a long time ago. And Emery, Laurent Blanc, Carlo Ancelotti, many managers have come through and they didn't quite do that. And on the night, the match proper, I think PSG were far too much quality for Leipzig on the night. Although it wasn't without Leipzig being architects of their own downfall as well, because we've been absolutely gone lyrical about what Leipzig have done this season. I mean, for a club that was founded 11 years ago, got to the top flight about 4 years ago.
Being led by a young manager.
A 33-year-old manager.
They got tired.
I mean, it was quite there were so many subplots. There were so many subplots, because Julian Nagelsmann, you know, as a young player, was playing for Thomas Tuchel, and so many subplots. And we wondered how the game was going to pan out. And Leipzig, for me, I thought they showed a bit of naivety on the night, because they insisted to play their own way. They wanted to play their football. And it's quite brave, really. I mean, if it comes out brilliantly, you say wonderful. But on the night, I thought they showed a lot of naivety all through the game. They tried to pass out from the back.
Yeah, it didn't
and
work.
PSG got their plans absolutely spot on. They knew they were going to try to pass out from the back, and they closed the space. They were pressing high up the pitch. They ensured that they set traps for them, and they were falling into those traps.
Talking about traps, Monday, the first goal, Neymar shaping up to deliver the free kick. Then it comes on Di Maria.
Absolutely. And no one saw that coming.
Was all alone with the goalkeeper.
No one saw that coming, because that was a brilliant bit of play by PSG, because they thought Neymar was going to go for the in-swinger. Yes, they thought that was going to come this way, and then Di Maria just clipped the ball to the first post, and what a wonderful header by Marquinhos. I mean, when Pele wishes you well before a match, I mean, you've got to just go out there and show your stuff. It was just a wonderful night for PSG, because I thought they were very professional. I thought they were very professional. They kept it simple. Di Maria, worthy of mention. I thought he was fantastic on the night as well. And defensively, I thought PSG was solid as well. Not many times I get to say that about them, because I still have my doubts about that partnership. Thiago Silva, for me,
but he was outstanding.
Individually, he's an outstanding player. But as a pair with Presnel Kimpembe, I'm not quite sure they're that solid. But on the night, Kimpembe was brilliant.
Neymar smiling.
Neymar, let's not forget that this is not a coincidence that PSG actually gets into the final when Neymar is finally fit.
Absolutely.
Typically, he's always injured.
And guess what? There's so much hula baloo when he left Barcelona for PSG. And you want to say this is why he left Barcelona for PSG. He wanted to go and show his stuff somewhere else. He wanted to be the main guy. I don't think he's been the main guy, in my opinion. I don't think he's been the main guy, because injury hasn't quite been fair to him. And again, Kylian Mbappe, my word, that boy is a genius.
But if you check, I mean, but if you check the game, this semi-finals and also the quarterfinals that they played, Neymar was just instrumental in both games. He may not have scored, but I think he was. If Neymar wasn't in those two games, so I think maybe maybe PSG won't have this success. They recorded, so give it to him.
Obviously,
he's not taking anything away.
You said he's not the main man.
You can't take anything away from
like,
Neymar. He's such a brilliant footballer. Sometimes he overdoes it sometimes, but he's such a guy that you're confident that he can take the game by the scuff of the neck. Yeah. He can pick up a ball and just weave some magic around. Yeah. And we saw that against Atalanta. We saw that yesterday again. Yeah. He was so instrumental. Every time he got the ball, you just had the sense that something is about to happen.
He's that kind of a player.
He's that kind of a player. Yeah. Just that, for me, I saw him showboat a few times. Yeah. Maybe he was trying to get into under the skin of the Leipzig players. You know, he loves it. And like the commentator Martin Tyler said, I mean, when you've got skills, you've got to show it.
You just show it, yeah. And most times he pays well, yeah.
So Neymar, as purposeful a footballer as he is, likes to showboat as well.
Yeah, he does.
But we're talking in terms of the game, in the grand scheme of things, you're thinking, what a contribution he made last night.
Yeah,
what a contribution. Because he was dropping into space. The Leipzig players could not get a handle on him.
Yeah.
He was just moving around. He was picking up balls. You were thinking, was he playing in number 10 role? He was just everywhere. Yeah. Sometimes you're seeing him on the right. You see him on the left. He was sometimes playing centrally. And my word, Leipzig, they didn't bargain for what hit them last night. It was such a brilliant all-round performance.
I think the presence of Angel Di Maria also helped a whole lot because in the last game he wasn't there.
He didn't play.
He didn't play. And of course, him coming in actually helped a lot. Why the focus was shifted. Mbappe didn't score. Neymar didn't score. But you have other players actually doing the scoring. Angel Di Maria giving
the flick from Neymar for the second goal.
Yeah.
My word. Yeah. The flick for that goal.
And Di Maria finished.
And Di Maria finished. And Di Maria, I'm sure Man United fans will be absolutely cursing their luck. Because for Di Maria,
really, at that time,
my problem with him is that he frustrates and excites in equal measure. Sometimes you look at him, you're thinking, like what is he about?
Mesut Ozil and Angel Di Maria, I think the two players have some similarities.
The difference between Di Maria and Ozil is intensity. Yeah. I mean, Di Maria always
brings it.
He's got that intensity. Obviously, he chases around. He's going to slide into tackles. He's going to chase back if he loses the possession. But he doesn't quite come to the party as regularly as you would expect him to. Last night was one of those nights that he came to the party.
After sitting on the bench and watching what happened in the next one, so you needed to be on the field and do some magic so that you play in the final. Yeah, well, I think that's the way it is.
For Angel Di Maria, 2 assists on the night as well. For Neymar, didn't get to score a goal. Still found time to hit the post a couple of times. That could have been worse for Leipzig. But it's the end of the road for the German side. They're going to have to start try again next season. In case you missed that match, it ended 3-0 in favor of PSG, and they're through to the final of the UEFA Champions League for the first time ever. And the fans celebrated like they've won the title. You're going to see pictures in a bit, and why? You've not even won the title. Why that huge and massive celebrations?
It's a game that is worthy of celebration.
Especially with COVID-19
not the way they did it, because, I mean, it's even more painful to lose in the final.
I mean, look at the scenes coming.
It is wild. It is wild. And considering the fact that there's been a spike in cases in France, I mean, you're thinking, why would the fans do this? And they clash with police. Police had to use tear gas and the like. Quite frustrating. But I know this guy. I mean, but this guy, I quite understand why. They've gone in an overzealous manner to do this, because they haven't seen this for a very long time. They've expected so much. There have been years. I mean, they beat Barcelona 4-0 in the first leg the other time, and they thought they were going to get to the semi-final, and they lost 6-1 in the second leg. So it's a feeling of, we know how difficult this thing is, and people don't quite understand how difficult it is to get to the semi-finals of the Champions League. It's a tough job, but the fans have no justification whatsoever to do this. I mean, there's no justification whatsoever to do this. It's a disgraceful sin, in my opinion, because they haven't even won it. It has to be said, you've not won it. And you couldn't go to the final and lose it. So what's the point? So the fans will always be the fans.
There is a point.
They get overexcited.
They've never been here. So being here is something.
A few of them wearing masks and all of that. Anyways, that's it for the UEFA Champions League semi-final. First match played last night. PSG getting through to the final, where they will be playing the winner tonight between Bayern and Lyon. A lot of people are saying Bayern, of course, will defeat Lyon to get in the final. Are you one of those people, or you think there might just be an upset in there somewhere? I don't think so.
If I were to put my money, I don't even have it, but if I were to put my money, I put all my money on Bayern.
Right,
but if Bayern would go into that game thinking that it's going to be as easy as it was against Barcelona, they will be in a fool's paradise.
Well, Bayern don't seem to be that kind of a team.
That's the problem. That's why I would put my money on them, because I was having a discussion with someone, and the guy, we're talking about how Barcelona was very naive and very open, you know, give Bayern lots of space. We're trying to play out of back. Bayern was setting traps for them, and they were falling into it.
Yeah.
The difference between Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and Barcelona and Man City is that Bayern will always have a plan B.
Yeah.
If you set Bayern up if you think you can press Bayern up the pitch and they'll give the possession away, they're not going to. They'll go long.
They can go long.
They'll go long. They'll start launching the balls forward. And when you've got Lewandowski, you've got Thomas Muller, 2 6-footers who can knock the balls down, they don't have a problem. Bayern don't care about styles. They care about winning. They can play through teams, but if they can't play through you, they'll adopt a different style, do something different. And that's where I feel Bayern have got the upper hand on Lyon. But my word, the performance Lyon showed against Man City was very impressive. They were very compact. They defended well as a team. They showed real spirit and grit. I don't think it will be that easy for Bayern. I don't think it's going to be that easy for Bayern, but I think Bayern will win because they have far too much quality. In terms of individuals class, someone like Serge Gnabry can pop up and get something.
Look at that dude right there.
That boy is a beast.
Oh, he's a beast.
That boy is a beast. I mean, I can't forget what he did to Nelson Semedo. I mean, he's standing in front of Nelson Semedo, and the next thing he's saying, "See you later. See you later." And then, I mean, so much pace, so much energy, and the story behind the boy. You know, fleeing from Africa to Canada, and just being able to. I mean, when you play in the MLS is not such a big league.
Yeah.
It's not such a league that has so much. I mean, it's almost like a pensioners league where a lot of the big stars.
Not anymore.
Not anymore now. But a lot of the big stars used to go there. But now, a young player coming from the MLS and bursting into the scene. I'm struggling to find a player quicker in world football. Once he gets on that afterburner, he looks like he's just going to go past everything in front of him. And when you play against in that team, and you've got Alaba in that team, the only maybe a minor blot in the Bayern Munich team is Jerome Boateng. I think he's gone past his best years, but he doesn't quite show because Bayern Munich will always play the possession football with people like Thiago Alcantara. They're going to keep the ball for 3 nights, so it's going to be hard for Lyon, and Lyon probably just have to hope that Bayern will do the same thing they did against Barcelona in terms of playing a high line. I saw Bayern on the center line against Barcelona, and they did that many times. If you do that against a team that have got pace, that's how I was. I really wanted Man City to play in the semi-final because I thought Man City would have knocked Bayern out because of the way Bayern play. They're so open in terms of they play high up the pitch. They're
open at the back, but there they can score more goals. That's another thing. They can score. So no matter what, if you score them, obviously they're going to score more. And Man City, as you're saying, their defense also is suspect.
You know,
so that's
score. You don't want to do that.
I mean, if you talk about this cricket scoreline in the semi-final of the Champions League, I don't think there'll be a cricket scoreline tonight, by the way. I just think that Bayern will do what is necessary, which is win. And this is the night where you do not need spectacular performances. You just need to win.
Just be clinical.
Whatever you need to do to get all the win on the night, you just do it. And I feel Bayern are that kind of side. They've got a plan A, plan B, they can do something different. They can go long, they can play wing football. They can just get something out of the game. That's all is needed tonight. But I'm not asking people to go put your money, but I feel Bayern will win.
Bayern get a job. So neutrals out there, I want to see a final between PSG and Bayern. We'll have to wait and see until tonight for the outcome of that game. Let's leave Bayern and Lyon for now. We'll come back and talk about it tomorrow. Let's talk about still on the UEFA Champions League qualifying rounds. The first qualifying rounds have started already. Matches were played yesterday. More matches were played today. And today we'll be tracking a particular club, KF Tirana. That's because it's been led by Nigerian coach Emmanuel Egbo. They'll be taking on Dynamo Tbilisi in that one-off match later tonight. There's also FC Sheriff having another Nigerian there. Faith Obilo, they'll be taking on CS Fola. And Maccabi Tel Aviv, these are teams that we're quite used to in this part of the world because, a few Nigerians played in Israel. They'll be taking on Riga FC. All the matches as well, too, in the first qualifying round. Monday, of course, now, we're talking about Tirana in Nigeria because of what this guy has done. Remarkable. Still a long way from getting into the group stage, but it is still something. Yeah,
it is something. It's an opportunity to punch above your weight. Yeah. I mean, it's a different environment to what they're very accustomed to. But they go to Dynamo Tbilisi in Georgia, and I mean, Georgian football is on the rise. It's getting a bit of notice, and if they can manage to scale past this particular round, it will be a massive achievement, really, because clearly Tbilisi are the favourites going into this one, and it would be an outstanding job if they can manage to get that particular phase out of the way. So credit to him. It's a tough ask. I mean, to ask them to get to the group stage of the Champions League. It's a massive ask, in my opinion. But we're rooting for them, obviously. Absolutely. I'm sure millions of Nigerians who want a Nigerian coach to be standing on the touchline with Pep Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. I mean, we'll be absolutely buzzing.
Thinking of upsets. I mean, it could happen.
You know, it's possible. It's football. I mean, who would have thought that Man City would lose against Leon? I mean, I would have. I mean, I don't mean to be stupid, but if I had all my money, I'll put it on the Man City game. You know, so it's football. And upsets happen here and there. You know, one of my bosses once told me that even if it's a 5% chance, it's still a chance.
It's still a chance.
So anything can happen in football. Who says Tirana can't go to Tbilisi and knock them out? Who says so? So it's football. So let's keep it open.
Let's keep it open. It's just a one-off tie, by the way.
Which is
just
really
a
cool.
win, a goal in the last minute.
Absolutely.
To get in.
It can go to penalties.
It can go to penalties
because someone must win.
Someone's got to win. So you never know. So we're wishing KF Tirana, all the best in that game against Dynamo Tbilisi. The winner will advance into the second round qualifying for the UEFA Champions League. And if they lose, they can still fall back into the Europa League. It's still something, Nigerian in the Europa League, not too bad. Let's come back. We're still talking football. Let's come back to Julian Nagelsmann. Fantastic young coach. Was looking to get into the final and becoming the youngest to get into that competition after Didier Deschamps. Couldn't get it. They're out of the competition now, but like you said earlier, you can't really take anything away from what he has achieved as a coach. And going into next season, there is certain targets already. And the targets, I've heard them. I don't think it's not impossible for them to achieve.
Okay.
In the Bundesliga right now.
Yeah, it's something they can achieve. Maybe we'll listen to him. When we come back, he'll react to all his targets.
Julian Nagelsmann already setting a top 4 target for Leipzig for next season. And you have to say that's achievable.
Yeah, it is achievable and realistic because what they've built over time. And I think people would say jump into the transfer market. But the important thing would be keeping your priced assets. I mean, they've got Dio Upamecano, who, in my opinion, has come up in leaps and bounds. They've lost Timo Werner. But Leipzig are not really a one-man team like that. So when they lose one player, even though you think that, I mean, when you lose someone like Timo Werner, you're losing 30, 25 goals a season. And that would be a challenge in terms of trying to replace that kind of quality player. But the truth of the matter is a team that is made up of spirit and the unity in the side. And it's a massive, massive achievement for them to be getting into the top 4 season out. I mean, the revenue is coming in. And you know, it's a big franchise. They've got a club in the US. They've got a club in Austria. And they're doing quite well. So, but in the long run, they would want to probably find out what the identities really is.
I think
Do we want to win trophies or we just want to be a supermarket?
Yeah, I think they'll want to win trophy, but we need to go on a break now. We'll come back. We'll be talking about Barcelona and what they're up to this Welcome back. Let's just take a look at some tweets. I mean, just take 2 or 3 tweets before we talk about Barcelona. And it's all about the Champions League. Ogunfowa Bosin says, it's good for PSG to enjoy this moment, but I think this year's Champions League has Bayern written all over it.
There you go.
And Shola Adeboye says, Bayern wins tonight and will eventually win the tournament unless miracle happens. Okay, and Esubong Jonathan says, good morning. PSG fans can celebrate like this just to qualify for the final. Then imagine what if they win it. Bayern will beat PSG in the final 3-1. I think this guy already knows the results between Lyon and Bayern, so he's predicting 3-1. Okay, quickly, let's talk about Barcelona and what they are up to this time around. Ronald Koeman is the man they're choosing, of course. It was open secret. They've confirmed that he is the one that will be in charge. 57-year-old, and of course, he had to leave. He will leave his national team duty for 1 year and be a stopgap for Xavi. But then that's all the stories that we're hearing. So but Ronald Koeman, is it the right man?
Koeman is coming. That's Koeman right there. He's
He
arrived in Barcelona already. To sign the deal. So barring any last minutes, you know, change of hearts and whatever, it's going to be the new coach of Barcelona. And I was asking our analyst yesterday that, okay, you're living a very stable job.
Do you understand?
As a
National
Netherlands
team,
manager, you're
money.
doing very well. The Netherlands are coming back. So many young, talented players doing very well. You're going to a very, very unstable...
Toxic.
Yeah, toxic. It has to be harsh, Cecilia, but I get what you're saying. Very, very unstable environment right now. Barcelona, that's exactly what they are. You're going to sign a new 2-year deal, right? There's a presidential election next year. The likely candidate, Victor Font, is committed to bringing in Xavi, regardless, whatever. So I'm thinking this is too much of a, I mean, for Koeman, like, why is he doing this? Is the lure of Barcelona so great that he can afford to take this chance, knowing fully well that he could only spend 1 year as the coach?
He was once of that parish, you know. He used to play for Barcelona.
I get it.
And clearly, when Barcelona puts a phone call across, you don't think.
Really?
You don't think. I mean, you don't think. There are clubs, and I can tell you this because in the way you put it, I can tell you that Ronald Koeman is not thinking. I can tell you he's not thinking.
5 years ago,
in the way Tayo put it, I mean, the likelihood of the new guy coming in and bringing Xavi is very high.
Yes.
If he wins the election, clearly Xavi is going to be the coach. And Ronald Koeman is not thinking.
He's not thinking.
Clearly he's not thinking because, I mean, when Barcelona calls you, you're thinking the coach of
thinking goes out
one
of the
the biggest clubs, one of the biggest clubs in the world. No, not a football club. Barcelona is not a football club, it's an institution.
Yeah, more than a
I mean, when you get an
turning
opportunity...
into a football club right now.
When you get an opportunity at that kind of club, I mean, it's very hard to say no. And you used to play for the club, and you get an opportunity to coach it. And then he was part of that complete dream team that played the complete football, the Johan Cruyff thingy and all. It's great for Barcelona to get their former players, but I think Barcelona are in a lot more trouble than they know.
Of course.
Yeah.
I think they're in a lot more trouble than they know. Too many aging players. Messi wrong side of 30, Piqué wrong side of 30, Rakitic wrong side of 30, Suarez wrong side of 30. I mean, how do you keep
average
that kind
age
of team
29
competing at? I mean, if you play Bayern Munich anytime, any day, they will still beat you again.
Even
May not be 8-2, but they will still beat you because there's a lot more creativity and youthfulness in the Bayern side. So
Monday,
Koeman is taking a very tough job, in my opinion.
Big job indeed, and we have to give Koeman credit for foresight as well. 10 over 10, you have to say, because when he signed as Netherlands manager, there was a Barcelona clause in the contract. If Barca come, you guys are going to have to let me go. Can you imagine that?
I mean, you've got to...
Can you imagine that?
Maybe you think it's a bit of arrogance, but I don't think it's arrogance.
No, it's
but
not.
As a top manager, you always feel that at some point, a Barcelona will put a phone call across. You have that self-belief that I'm good enough to coach Barcelona.
Okay,
at some point...
How many top managers have Barcelona really put a call across to?
I mean, when you say top-rated managers, I mean managers who, in the next few years, maybe Nagelsmann will be linked with that job. But when you see someone like I mean, particularly when you have some Barcelona DNA in you. At some
maybe
point,
that's
you just
the
always
word.
have
Barcelona's DNA. That's the word I want to
call
use,
you.
not top managers.
And that was great foresight, by the way.
Okay.
Anyways, before we go to the papers quickly, Eric Abidal.
Eric Abidal,
well.
okay, he's done.
So the inquest continues. The fallout from Barca getting thumped by Bayern continues anyway. So Eric Abidal was in charge as a sporting director for 2 years. He's lost the job now because of Barcelona's very, very terrible performance against Bayern Munich. Let's go to the papers now before we close the show. Let's start with Complete Sports. Right. Laudrup says Haribo's Rangers live wire. Of course, Joe Haribo, our Super Eagles midfielder, has been very good since joining Rangers from the English Championship. Mikel set fitness target for Stoke debut. Chelsea get August 28th. Harvard deadline. 5 facts on Bayern versus Lyon. Semis tie. Impossible is nothing. Yeah, we talked about that already. PSG Hammer Leipzig. Juve to consider cashing in on Ronaldo. What else? Barca must pay Dutch FA 5 million euros for Koeman. Yeah, compensation. Definitely. Ebery is shortlisted for an award. Pep urged to sign Lautaro Martinez. Which of the stories do you want to react to quickly?
I think the last one, Lautaro Martinez.
Right.
It would be a massive addition. He's a young player, Argentine. Yeah. Has got something in him that I see in Aguero as well. Right. I mean, that eye for goal. Yeah. And somewhere in and around the box, he's someone who wants to shoot. And would be a great signing if that happens.
Yeah, but it was Barca in touch as well. Barca wants him now. You're talking about City.
We're talking about someone not thinking when Barcelona calls you.
Sporting Life.
So you know where it's going.
Sporting Life, the next one this morning. And of course, to take this one, Ronaldo gets a 54 million euros tag. Don't dump Barcelona for the EPL. That's the Higuain is talking to Messi.
Messi's not going anywhere.
He's not going anywhere. Get it wrong. Coronavirus cancels Austria friendlies. Of course, we know club not willing to release Eagles stars. Yeah, that's normal. Okay. Anyone you want to react to, or just take the last one? Okay.
All right. Sporting Sun last paper. Chukwueze, I am on fire for new season. Interesting. Season hasn't started.
And it's good because it's coming at a time where the club just signed a certain Japanese Messi, Taku something. He's a Japan player on loan from Real Madrid. And he plays the same position with Chukwueze.
Okay.
So Chukwueze has to be on fire.
He's got to be on fire. Wenger lobbying for Netherlands' job.
No, he has denied. No, he has denied it.
It's not true.
Yeah, he has denied it.
I think Wenger's gotten to a stage in his career where you don't love for jobs anymore.
He's not even going into coaching anymore. Thank you.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, over 70. The old man should just rest, please.
Yeah, he's relaxing. It has something to do with FIFA, so which is bigger than any other thing.
When you earn as much as he earned at Arsenal for how many years? I mean, just enjoy your retirement. I mean,
okay, we have to leave the studio.
Yourself.
Thank you so much, Monday, for coming on the program.
Thank you so much. Always fun with you too, you know.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time. Thank you for watching as well. Try and join us tomorrow. I am Tayo Salam.
I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great day.